Hey y'all, this is Gail, teaching here from the center of the United States. So it's Central Time here on Wednesday, the first Wednesday in January. Welcome to Gentle Yoga for Low Back Care. So this is not your normal class today. I'm in a different environment. It's the first of the year. We're going to do things that are a little bit different, but still very beneficial for your back challenges. As always, keep it between the easy and ouch. If you're thinking, this class is not for me today, please check back with us next week or somewhere later on in January. You'll get your regular type of practice. All right, so you'll need a strap and a block. If you don't have that, maybe have a cat leash or a rolled up towel or a couch pillow. But you know what? You don't have to do the class with gear. I do a recording of the class. It's just on me. So if you don't have gear today, check out the recording later on in the week, and maybe you've got, a long towel or a bunched up pillow to do the class. So let me come and go to the back of the room. So I'm going to come away from the front of the room. Again, it's a little bit different today because I'm in a different type of space, and you can either be seated on your behind, lying on your back, or seated on the chair. I'm going to start seated in the chair today. So I've got my block, my strap close by. I also have my blanket close by if I want to use that later on to cover up at the end during that guided rest and relaxation. So I'm going to scoot back into the chair, and yes, you can see my feet. Very good. So, just kind of wherever you are, whether you're seated on the floor or lying on your back in constructive rest pose, knees bent, feet on the yoga mat. Hands can either be resting on your belly if you're lying on your back, or resting comfortably in your lap. And I invite you just to close your eyes or softly gaze. And I'm going to look down at the floor while we do this. We're going to do our breathing first. So just notice that you're breathing. So breathe in, notice what's happening, what movement happens when you inhale, and what movement happens when you exhale. Don't change anything, just notice. Just notice. Do you notice any of the belly, the chest expanding as you breathe in? And what do you notice when you exhale? Very good. One more time, just breathing, how you breathe. And exhaling. Beautiful. Next, we're doing what's called the extended exhale breath. So this is beneficial for lowering your blood pressure numbers. If you're in there getting your blood pressure and it's kind of high and thinking, I can do better than that. So what the technique is to breathe in to a count of 4, you pause, and then you slowly exhale to a count of 5. So this lowers your blood pressure, lessens your heart rate. Now if that's not something you like to do, just a regular breath here is okay, okay? So when we breathe in, make your hands around your torso and try to think about your low belly expanding, the mid belly expanding, and then your chest expanding. So we're kind of going from the bottom up when we do this type of breath. So here we go. I'm going to place my hands low on my belly. It's below my belly button. And then from here, breathe in, belly out, chest expands, pausing, and then slowly exhale to a count of 5. Pausing for a second, and then breathe in. Make those ribs expand. Slowly exhale. Now I'm making a noise in the back of my throat when I kind of do this counted breath. It's called the Ujjayi breath or the ocean's breath. You're basically constricting the back of the throat a little bit as you breathe in. So breathe in. And then slowly exhale, constrict the throat. If you've never done this before, it's kind of like you have a little hand mirror in your hand and you're breathing in as normal. So you place that hand mirror in front of your face. And as you exhale, it's as if you were fogging a hand mirror. So open your mouth a little bit and exhale. So that's the kind of sound that you make. It constricts the back of the throat. Let's do that again, but keeping the mouth softly sealed. So breathe in, and then slowly, slowly out. Make that little sound. Again, beautiful. Okay, so use that technique again. You find your heart rate is rapid. You can quickly go into this. This also is like a lessening of the stress, the cortisol. So it's a nice technique for tamping down the anxiety. Okay, so you kind of refocus everything to the attention to the sound of the breath and to the belly and chest expanding and contracting as you exhale. All right, y'all did really good. So I'm trying to think here. If you're seated, if you're lying on your back, let's just go ahead and do some windshield wipers, shall we? So we're going to open up the hip musculature while we do this. If you're sitting on your behind, go ahead and lie on your back or go onto a chair. So if you're on the chair, shift a little forward. So lying on your back, we're basically going to take one leg out to the side, drop it out to the side. So you're on the side of the foot. Seated on the chair, you come up on the balls of the feet and bring that knee out to the side. Again, we're addressing the hip musculature here when we do windshield wipers. So again, it's a kind of a range of motion type of thing, warming up the hip musculature, and there's a little bit of a strength move going on here too. So we're going to add on to that. We're going to take the other leg or the top leg and again up on the ball of the foot or not if you're lying on your back and drop it towards that bottom leg. So our backside is on the yoga mat or seated on the chair, but a little bit of a low lumbar twist is happening here. Again, keep it between the easy and ouch. Now we're going to contract the belly button towards the spine, bring the first leg or the leg you just dropped, bring it back to the center, and bring the other leg back to the center. Very good. We're going to do the other side. So again, if you're seated on the chair, you come up on the balls of the feet and then drop your leg out to the side. Notice when you go to the second side, is this easier to do versus the first side that we did? Maybe, maybe not. Let's do the second leg. Come up and drop it. I'm going to hang on to my chair on this one. Again, lying on the back, dropping one knee, then the other. You may notice a little bit of sensation happening in that top twisted hip or the backside. Again, just notice what you notice. If it's spicy, anytime we're in a yoga pose, let's think about breathing in through the nose, return your attention to your breath, and then exhale through the nose. Kind of like we did with that extended and exhale breath. We make a little noise in the back of the throat. We listen for it. All right, bring that top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. Let's do this one more time each side. So get ready. Drop the other side out to the side. Notice if it's a little bit more range of motion. Maybe it's not. We're on the side of the first foot. And then bring that other foot, drop it towards, or other knee, drop it towards. Now, those of us seated, we're not on the sides of the feet. But those of us lying down, you're on that instep and on the outside. So it kind of massages those muscles, which we don't normally work those sides of the feet, yeah? All right, bring it back to the center. Squeeze the belly button if needed. Bring it back to the center. Relax those feet if you're seated. Ooh, my chair squeaks. Let's do the second side, shall we? All right, so drop it out, and then the other. It's going to bug me, the chair squeaking. Oh, well. Don't let it bug you, okay? And again, you're noticing the sensations, noticing if you dropped a little bit more than you did before. Squeeze the belly button towards the spine. Bring the top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. Yay. All right, so next is called the notice posture. We're going to notice how tight those hip flexors are, or maybe our back side, or the back of the hamstrings, or the back of the legs, calves. So I'm going to show this sideways, seated on a chair, so I don't have enough room to show it to you forwards. So if you're lying on your back, go ahead and extend one leg all the way down to the edge of the yoga mat. Maybe shake it out a little bit. Do the same with the other one. If you're seated, hands back behind you, and move that blanket around the back of the heels. You're trying to have the legs be straight. You may need to bend them a little bit. I don't know if you can see that with the light in the room. But I'm just going to pretend that you can see it. And then I have my toes towards me. You know what? Just let the toes be soft here. So you're noticing, okay, how does this feel for the hip flexors? How does this feel for the low back, upper back muscles? You may feel it more seated than you do lying on your back. And again, this is our notice posture. So we're going to squeeze the belly button, bring one leg back in towards the yoga mat, then the other. And now I want you to find your yoga strap. Again, I'm recording the class. You don't have a yoga strap. You can do hands back behind the legs instead. But I'm going to, today I'm kind of doing a little different thing, yeah? So we're going to take the strap along the bottom of the foot. You don't have to do this if you're lying on your back, by the way. Or what some folks will do is have the strap be back behind the knee pit. We're going to do knee to chest posture. So I'm away from the back of the chair. I'm engaging those tall posture muscles while doing these poses on the chair. But yeah, that's a good thing to do if you're seated in the chair. So first, let's invite the knee in towards the chest. So I, brought the knee in towards the chest, and I kind of round my spine a little bit. So I'm trying to do tall posture muscles. And I'm noticing how far naturally the knee comes towards my body, whether I'm lying on the yoga mat or seated on the chair. And then from here, breathe in, and as you exhale, extend that leg out. Inhaling, knee in towards the chest. Exhaling, leg out. Again, inhaling, knee in towards the chest. Exhaling, leg out. Keep moving, keep breathing. I'm going to keep talking. So this is going to, let's see, isolate the knee joint, the hip joint. So you may be noticing little popping, some little noises going on in the hips, in the knees. You may notice none of that. And let's do one more. And then take your hands back behind your knee, bring that knee a little bit more into your chest, and let's isolate the ankle joint now. Again, this is for increased mobility, better walking. So we're going to point and flex the foot. I've got these weird little toe socks on today because it's super cold back here. Oh. Now, ankle circles. Notice if you have any snap, crackle, pops that are happening. And you're going to reverse. Notice if reverse feels a little odd, it might. And then go back to point and flex. And then release the foot back onto the yoga mat. We're going to do that same stuff on the other side. So invite the other knee in towards your chest. Again, whether you're seated, whether you're lying on the yoga mat. And again, I'm going to show this front ways on this second side. So again, I'm noticing, okay, is this hip more in towards my chest compared to the other? So those are things you compare, like, oh, this one's easier to do, or maybe it feels a little bit more spicy. Whew. From here, let's breathe in, tall posture, nice relaxed back into the yoga mat. And as we exhale, extend that leg out. Now, inhale, knee into chest. Exhaling, leg out. Again, inhaling, knee into chest. Exhaling, leg out. Let's do that again. Inhaling, belly soft when you breathe in, and exhale, tighten that belly button towards your spine. Sneaky core work. 2 more. And exhale. Take your time. Inhale, knee into chest. Exhale, leg out. And actually, this is the last one. Bring that knee into chest. Maybe hands can go back behind that knee and just kind of notice how this feels. And you can actually do forearms. I'm doing my lower wrist hanging on this side. Now we're going to point and flex that foot. Again, ankle mobility. If you ever notice that you're kind of shuffling or scuffling when you walk, that could be an indication that well, maybe you need to work your feet a little bit more. But, if you have neuropathy, sometimes that's a challenge. Let's do ankle circles. And notice, do your ankle circles seem to be the same type of shape when compared to the first time you did this on the other leg? My foot is just snapping and popping on this one. Woo! Now reverse, go the other way. This one feels odd to me. But that's because, I've had surgery on this side, so it's like, ooh, there's still some scar tissue in there that just has not released. Beautiful. And release that leg. All right, so wherever you are, lying on your back, seated in the chair, let's take our hands on our legs or your own muscular strength. Let's just shake the legs. So we're going to get that tension that we created in doing knee to chest posture and extend it out and just release that tension. Now, I don't know if you can do this lying down on your back. I think maybe you can, maybe you can't. But let's bring one knee in toward your chest and just slap the back of the knees. That's where a lot of lymph nodes hang out in our bodies. So there's lots of literature about, trying to get rid of your waist and your lymph nodes. This is one method of doing that movement. And release. Bring the other knee in towards your chest and slap the back of the knee. Now it's not hard slaps, but it's nice, a nice little noise going on here. Very good. And release. If it's available, I hope it's available if you're lying on your back. If you have knee pain, one of the things you can do is with the palm of your hand, softly, is to tap the outsides of the knee. Now I'm kind of hinged forward to make this happen. So again, it kind of depends. Can you reach the side of the knees? Maybe it's more here on the side of the lower thighs. Yeah? Do what you can with what you got. And I'm just kind of moving it from that lower thighs to the side of the knees. Very good. From here, let's go ahead wherever you are, clap your hands and rub into the palms. So get those palms nice and heated here. And then kind of move that heat into the fingers. It's good for circulation, stroke prevention, getting circulation into those fingers. Beautiful. And then just kind of shake them out. Very nice. All right, so next we're going to do pigeon. So pigeon lying on your back. You'll bring a leg up into the air, turn the heel. You're either crossing here at the ankle. If it's available, maybe it's on top of your thigh. Now make sure that ankle is not like knobbing the muscle on the leg. The top leg, we're going to bounce our leg first. So you know what, I need to grab my yoga strap. Let me grab that yoga strap. So if you're lying on your back, sometimes what we do is we take the hand and we push the leg away. Now there's not much movement going on when you do this seated on the chair. And if the leg is like really far away, you use the block to kind of bounce it. Now this is not very effective seated on the chair, but it's great lying on your back. So if you're seated on the chair, you pull the leg towards you gently and let it drop. All right, so that's one way to warm up that piriformis muscle. So if you have sciatica, this is one of the preparatory postures for going into pigeon, warms up the muscle before we strengthen and work it out. Or you can, you can just kind of do the little wiggle business. Be cautious, be kind, okay? All right, and then we're going to make everything still. Very good. Now, we're going to think about the bottom foot. We're just tap, tap, tap that bottom foot, and then press it firmly into the floor. You should feel activation of the bottom leg. Top leg, whether you're lying on your back, seated on the chair, bring the toes and the bottom ball of the foot, bring it towards your knee so it's a heel flex, activating the calf, lining up the ligaments in the knee. Now we're going to, let me think here what we're going to do. Again, if you're lying on your back, you may need your block, but you're going to, again, press into the bottom leg vigorously, top toes towards your knee, squeeze the top bun, squeeze, and then press the top leg away. Or use the block to help gently facilitate pushing that weight away. Now if you're seated in the chair, what I like to do is grab the bottom of the foot, my kneecap, elbows out, and I hinge forward. Woo! There's a little spice going on there. There's a little hello behindy going on. And I'm going to show this sideways, just so, again, you can just get another variety here. Pressing the bottom foot firmly into the floor, sitting up tall. And again, you can squeeze top bun, press the leg away, or elbows out, hinge forward. But you're still squeezing the top bun. You're getting lots of active muscular contraction here. Great for bone building. Got to stay here a little bit. So let's listen to the breath as we breathe in. Belly soft. Exhale, contract that belly button. Maybe you can hear me. I'm kind of noisy today. Breathe in and exhale. Again, push into the bottom foot. Push the top leg away to really get into our pigeon or pigeon. And release. Come back up. Bounce that leg, kind of release all that tension. And in fact, take that leg up and off and just kind of shake that leg. Get that tension out of the body. Love it. and release. We gotta do all the other side. You all ready? I know you are. So we're going to take the other side, so the other leg, again, cross either at the ankle, and you gotta come a little forward if you're seated in the chair to do this. And you can bounce here, or you can thread that strap underneath the knee and bounce it there, or bring it up on top. Oof. Notice if you feel differences one side versus the other. So does this feel different? And maybe it feels different lying on your back too. So what are we going to do? Relax that top foot. I naturally always point it. We're going to bounce the leg. So I'm pulling it towards me since I'm seated today. I can feel my back popping. So I have, let's see, scoliosis, spondylolisthesis, retrolisthesis, which means a curvature in the spine and a twist. Spondylolisthesis is the narrowing of the spinal nerve going, through the vertebrae. What else? SI joint dysfunction. Probably the only thing I don't have is sciatica because I do this all the time. So it doesn't kind of attack me, which I bet it would if I wasn't doing this on a regular basis. All right, so we're going to go into the pigeon portion of the posture. Ooh, pigeon portion of the posture. 3 Ps. All right. Take your toes, point them towards your knee. Feel that calf contraction and everything nice and lined up. Very good. And you know what? Bottom foot, tap, tap, tap. Forgot about that. And then press firmly into the floor. Activate that bottom leg. Top toes towards your knee. Squeeze top bun. Again, maybe press the leg away or use that block to press it away. If you're seated, the bonus is tall posture, elbows out, hinge forward. Woo! Hello, behind. I don't know. I think I'm feeling it. What about y'all? So this is where, again, it is like a little challenging. Return to the breath. Return to paying attention to the breath. So it's a redirection of the senses. Are you still pushing into the bottom leg? I know I lost it, so I imagine you all did. So let's breathe in, listen to it, and then exhale, belly button towards your spine. Again, inhale, belly big. Exhale, belly button towards your spine. Press, press, press into the floor, contract everything, toes towards your knee. Beautiful. Breathe in. And exhale, release. Yay. Relax that foot. Bounce your leg a little bit, whew, or a lot, in my case. And then we're going to shake that leg, so take it off and shake it. I'm going to just keep this one on the floor while I shake it, but shake it however you need to. Maybe it's up and down, maybe it's sideways, maybe it's, a combination of both of that. Beautiful. And release. Excellent. Yay. Let's do the notice pose so we can see, how much of this is helping on my backside. So I'm going to show this the other direction, seated in the chair, but if you're lying on your back, extend one leg, then the other. Again, this is not our normal class today. I'm in a different space, so it's a little bit challenging to do my normal things, but variety spice of life. So if you're seated on the chair, I'm away from the back of the chair, and I'm going to extend one leg, kind of flex that, and I always point my toes towards me, but let the foot relax, and then do the other. And again, just kind of notice, how do your hip flexors feel? How does that mid-back, low back, upper back feel? There's a little chest expansion here when you're seated on the chair with the hands back behind you. It's a little back bend that increases the heart rate. And again, I'm always like toes towards my knee, but I'm just trying to really think about just extending those legs out. Notice what you notice or don't notice. All right, that was notice posture. So bend one knee, bring it back onto the yoga mat, and then the other. We're going to move on to letter T arms with the golfer's grip and the overhead extension. So I don't think I've ever taught this seated in the chair for y'all, but those of you lying on the yoga mat, grab your block. Those of you seated on the chair, grab your block. Or maybe you got a blanket or a pillow or the inside of your knees. That works too. Just make sure that you're away from the back of the chair when you're seated on the chair. Squeak, squeak. Take that mid width, or maybe the skinniest width. You get to choose today. I'm going to do mid-width. Mid-width? That's hard to say. And I'm walking my heels towards one another, whether you're lying on your back or you're seated in a chair. And this feels a little spicy for that left lower shoulder. So I think I'm going to move my bun back on the chair. That made a little bit of difference. Okay. So what we'll do, if you've not been in class before, golfer's grip, we take our hands, we fold the fingers into the pads of the hands. We do the same with the other one. Now my right hand, a lot of them don't go down, so I just, have them bent the best they can, right? We try to have the top of the forearm aligned with the top of the hands. We don't go and do it with a cocked wrist, okay? Do the best you can with what you got. So we're going to take the hands in front of us like we're Superman or super person. So you see that, right? And the thumbs are pointed towards the center of my body. And then we're going to bend the elbows, back of the arms onto the floor. If you're doing seated, it's parallel arms to the ground. Now, I'm going to walk my feet in. You know what? I'm going to lean a little forward. Maybe that'll help. Oh, that's better. Okay. All those nice minor adjustments here. Now, I'm going to squeeze my shoulders towards one another. If you're lying on your back, press your shoulders into the yoga mat and then release the shoulders. Release the squeeze of the shoulders. Squeeze that block continuously as best you can. Let's do that again. Squeeze your shoulders towards your spine or into the floor and release. Squeeze and release. Let's do two more. Squeeze the block. Squeeze and release. One more. Squeeze and release. Woo! Now bring the hands in front of you. Clap the hands. Rub those hands. Ooh, they feel sweaty. Rub the fingers. So hands in front of your chest where you're sitting on the chair, lying on your back. And then let's interlace the fingers. Squeeze the palms. So it's right here in front of your chest. So this is the hard part, seated in the chair. Super straight elbows. Make sure the elbows look the same. And then belly button tight as you bring the arms up and overhead. This is great for bursitis, shoulder rotator cuff. Try to not have bent elbows. Try to have super straight arms. And mine are here in front of my, in front of my head. But some folks have their arms on either side of their ears or their glasses or not. And that's okay. Belly button tight. Slowly, slowly bring it back in front of your chest. Whew. Clap your hands. Rub your hands. I'm trying to get that sweat off my hands because I'm just like, woo, okay, interesting. Go back to that golfer's grip. So fold the fingers into the pads. Ooh, that one came down. I still got one more to come down. So hands in front, all right, in front of your chest, and bend your elbows. Again, position your shoulders on the yoga mat. Squeeze those shoulders. Squeeze the block. You know what? I'm going to make my block a little bit less distance. See if that makes it feel a little bit different. It does. Oh, my. All right, squeeze into the floor. Release. Squeeze those shoulders towards your spine. Release. Squeeze your yoga block at the same time. Woo! And release. Two more. Squeeze and release. And one more. Here we go. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Beautiful. Clap your hands. Release the tension held in the hands. It's like you're starting a fire. There's a stick in between your hands. You're rubbing vigorously here. Wonderful. Interlace those fingers. Elbows look the same. Squeeze the block. Squeeze the belly button. Then bring those arms up and overhead. Ooh, I'm on the side of my glasses. Yay. I'm going to wiggle my thumbs. Just because, sometimes I can have the arms come all the way back behind me when I'm laying on my back. And then squeeze the belly button, squeeze the block. Slowly bring it in front of your chest again. Once you're there, clap your hands. Rub those hands. Yay. We're going back to golfer's grip one more time. So fold the fingers. Squeeze your shoulders. Place the back of the arms into the yoga mat. Here we go. So squeeze and release, strengthening that upper back with this movement. Squeeze and release, bilateral alignment. Three more. Squeeze and release. My back is popping on this one. Squeeze and release. One more. Make it really big. Squeeze the block, squeeze the shoulders, squeeze the floor, and release. Clap the hands one more time. Woo! Get that campfire started right here. All right, interlace the fingers, super straight arms, super nice aligned elbows. They look the same. In other words, squeeze the block. Here we go. Belly button tight. Bring the arms up and overhead. Ooh, I'm on the sides of my ears now. Yay. Wiggle the thumbs. And then belly button tight. Bring it back in front of your chest. Whew. Clap your hands. Release the hands. Rub those hands. Beautiful. Keep rubbing that hands as you take the block. Well, I guess you can't do that, but go back to rubbing the hands. I'm going to bring my feet a little wide. If you're on the yoga mat, bring your feet a little wide. And then we're rubbing vigorously, yes? Then you're going to place a hand on your thigh, and you're going to take that warm hand and tap up the side of that arm into the shoulder, drop the ear towards the shoulder, and then flip the hand up, come down the front. Again, this is bone building. Let's do it again. Bone to bone here. Don't go too hard though. Go into that shoulder. We kind of need that a little bit. Flip the hand, come down. So this is some energy tapping. Let's do it one more time. Go up the side, go into that shoulder, and then come on down. Tap the hands once again. Rub those hands. Here we go. I hope you're enjoying this little different yoga, back yoga class today. Let's do the other side. Hand on the leg, whether you're on your back or seated on the chair. Let's tap, tap, tap. And go into that shoulder. It's kind of hard to drop your ear if you're not seated. And flip the hand, come down the front. And again, here we go. This is part of my seated Tai Chi class that we do. And bring it down the front. So we're mixing it up today. And one more time. Tap, tap, tap. Into the shoulder and down the front. One more time. Clap those hands. Beautiful. Since we're still here on our back or seated on the chair, let's do block bridge pose. So you're laying on that yoga mat. We're going to have the knees bent, feet on the yoga mat, and you need to use your behind to lift your behind up off the ground, and you slide that block underneath to rest your behind on that block. You don't have a block, you can do this without the block. Now I'm taking my block, placing it here low. You know what? I'm going to place it here tall in my chair because I don't have a back on this chair. I'm going to press my back into that block. Now, for seated folks, you probably need your strap, so find your strap, or your hands back behind your leg when we do this next part. So, belly button tight, raise the leg up, and we're going to shake that leg while we're here. Now, it may be this is too much for you seated on my chair, and you just shake the leg with the hands instead, okay? So somehow we're doing this lymphatic drainage, and we're also trying to release deeply held tension held in the back. This is more effective being on the ground or on the couch or on the bed. So, go try that if you're not able to get down onto your hands and knees, okay? And release. Whew. So we're going to switch sides. So bring the other leg up into the air and then start your shaking. I think I forgot to say side to side. You know what? Do side to side on this one. That feels weird. And up and down. And release. Go back. Yes. Bring the other leg up because I forgot. Shake it side to side. You don't want to work. And then up and down. Now, maybe you want to bring the other leg up. Can't do this seated on a chair, but you're lying on your back. Both legs in the air. Shake side to side. So I'm just going to shake them side to side, feet on the floor. Again, we're doing a lot of good stuff for our lymph nodes here. And if you're lying on your back, there's a nice release of tightly held pelvic organs, especially if you have prolapse of the, I think here, the rectum or the bladder, and the associated men and female parts. So working gravity in a different direction. Now, if you shake it side to side, shake it up and down, and you're seated on the chair, maybe it's stomping, yeah. Also good for neuropathy on the feet if you're seated on the chair doing this. Very good. And then let one leg come on down, then the other, lift up. Take that block out, roll your spine down, notice what you notice here. Let's do the notice pose while we're here so you can further figure out how does this feel. Again, I'm going to show this sideways, seated on the chair, extending one leg, then the other. And for me, I'm feeling less tension in that mid-thoracic spine, so that's very beneficial. The hips are pretty loosey-goosey for me. So again, notice what you notice or don't notice. Some folks, you have to do a couple of classes to increase your body awareness of, how it feels in the different places in your body. And, that's okay. It takes about 3 to 5 times to kind of get into a yoga groove, to find your class, to find your tribe, so to speak, whatever they call that, yeah? All right, and then let's release. Let's bring the feet back onto the yoga mat. And we're going to come up to seated. So I invite you to drop one knee, then the other, and then roll over onto your side, whether you're seated with your behind on the yoga mat or seated on the chair, okay? Sometimes what I do when I'm seated on the yoga mat, I will take my yoga blanket and I fold it up into let's see here. What do I have it here? I've got it into a nice little kind of tall rectangular shape, and then I kind of move it down a third, and I do the same. And where I do that is that I have very tight hips. So if I sit on this edge of the yoga mat at the very, bottom of my behind, it allows my pelvis to tilt forward and feel a little bit more open in my lungs. So it helps me with my breathing ability. You know what? I'm not going to do that on the chair though. So again, if you're seated on the floor, you may want to do that. You may want to put a block underneath underneath one of your legs or both of the knees. We're going to do our unsupported twist and our side lateral flexion. We're going to do our cat-cow, also seated on the floor. Now, if you prefer traditional cat-cow or flowy cat-cow, that's an option also. So from here, squeak goes my chair. We're going to, again, activate the upper body musculature. Let me check our time here. Okay, beautiful. We're going to do those letter W arms. So it kind of looks like a letter W, yeah? And you're going to squeeze those shoulders. So you're kind of squeezing those shoulder blades towards your spine, yeah? Now, from here, you're noticing which leg is in the front. Well, neither one if you're seated in the chair. You just choose a side, and we're going to breathe in, let the belly be soft. Squeeze those shoulders, belly button towards your spine, twist towards one side. Hearing that breath, right? Okay, breathe in, stay here, belly soft. I lose the one shoulder when I do this. Exhale, belly button towards my spine. Re-squeeze the shoulders as I bring it back to facing you. Very good. Let's do that again. Breathe in, belly soft. Exhale, twist over to the other direction. Notice how your body feels. Ooh, did you twist more? Breathe in, belly soft. Exhale, back to the center. Now relax everything down. Whew. Let's just do alternate shoulder rolls here, just to kind of get that tension released from the upper body. And then reverse it, go the other direction. Always feel weird going the other direction, but I know it feels good. Looks strange though. We're going to do that seated twist again. You can also do this standing if you prefer to stand while you do this, but make sure your feet, both feet are pointed towards 12 o'clock. And as I say that, I'm making sure my feet here seated on the floor are doing that. So squeeze the shoulders. Very nice. Breathe in, belly soft. Belly button tight. Twist, 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 twist. Ooh, twist a little bit more, a little bit less. Breathe in, belly soft. Exhale, come back to the center. Belly soft, breathe in. Exhale, over to the other side. Ooh, feels strange. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, back to the center. And release. Very nice. From here, let's do our side lateral flexion. So if you're seated in the chair, you're away from the back of the chair a little bit. If you're seated on the floor, just get comfy, yeah? Maybe you want to switch the legs, or maybe you want to keep them the same, whatever you want to do, yeah? And let's inhale, circle sweep arms up. And then keep one hand in the air, and whether you're here on the yoga mat or the chair, fingers on the yoga mat, inch them away, or hand back behind you. Breathe in, reach up, belly button tight. Exhale, both buns on the surface that's supporting you, and feel that stretch from your hip through the armpit to the bottom side of your arm. Might be some spice. Breathe in, bring it back. Exhale, float it down. Beautiful. Now I'm bringing the hand back behind me. You can be on your wrist or fist because of the chair, right? But you can walk the fingers away, bend that bottom elbow to get into your side lateral flexion, or hand back behind you if you're seated on your bum. So just some options. Let's do the other side. So to begin with, inhale, circle sweep both arms up. Sneak the hand either on the yoga mat or back behind you. And then again, inhale, reach, reach, reach. Both buns on the floor. Contract that belly button towards your spine. Exhaling, lean that side body over. Notice if it feels different than the first side that you did. Whew. Inhaling, bring it back on up. Exhaling, float it down. Let's do that again each time, both sides. Breathing in, circle sweep arms up. Keep the arm up. Exhale, and then inhale, reach. Exhale, lean that body over. Inhaling back on up. Exhaling down. Other side. Inhale, circle sweep both arms up. Exhaling, bring that other arm down, position it where you need to. Inhale, reach. I wiggle my fingers when I do that. Exhale, lean that side body over, belly button tight. Beautiful. Inhaling back on up. Exhaling, float it down. Wonderful. All right, so cat-cow. Again, if you're on your hands and knees, you know what to do. You've been to class before. If this is your first time in class, I'm sorry, I'm not going to cue you. But if you're seated on the yoga mat, on your behind, or seated on the chair instead of hands and knees, then these are the same kind of instructions. I'll instruct you all flowy cat-cow next time, shall we? So again, I'm away from the back of the chair. I'm trying to have my ears over my shoulders, shoulders over my hips. But you know, we do this tech stuff where we're like this, right? Or we're looking at our iPad or at the computer. So we're all kind of like crunched towards the floor. That limits our ability to really breathe nice and deep to avoid getting ill, because we're not breathing all the way down into our nooks and crannies. Nooks and crannies, all right. So again, I'm going to wiggle my shoulders a little bit, kind of get those ears aligned with my shoulders as best I can, okay? And my hands resting on top of my thighs, or maybe cupping my knees, depending how long the arms, the legs are in front of you. So to begin with, we're going to breathe in, let the belly expand. And as we exhale, we contract that belly button towards the spine. Now from the hips, we hinge forward. It's like a forward fold. It's called, let me think here, cow posture. So if you're on your hands and knees, your belly is more towards the floor and your hips are flared up a little bit. We're going to stay here, belly big, breathe in. And then contract that belly button towards your spine as you bring yourself back to that tall seated mountain posture. Now we're going to do the cat portion. But first, we breathe in, belly big. And then exhale, curve your spine to the back of the room. Now I hang on to my knees, my thighs, or my chair to do this. So I got a little curve going on here. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, belly button tight. Come back to that tall seated posture. So when you're seated on the floor, seated on the chair, you probably notice that little pelvic tilt happening. That's great for low back pain, for kind of like easing that pain out of that. Let's do that again. I'll try not to talk so much. Well, that won't happen. Here we go. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, belly button towards your spine, hinge forward, hands on the shins or the knees, depending if you're on the floor, on the chair. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, back to tall, seated mountain posture. Belly relaxed, breathe in. Contract that belly, curve to the back of the room, flexion and extension of the spine, all those 6 spinal movements today. Inhale, belly big. Exhale, belly button tight. Come back to that tall seated mountain. Beautiful. Now, for those of you sitting on your behind on the yoga mat, let's transition onto our hands and knees. We're going to do oppositional reach, also known as spinal balance. It's great for addressing the deepest held layer of our back muscles. So we have our erector spinae and all some other ones, but the multifidi is the deepest held layer. And what happens is we allow that to go to fat. And once that happens, the multifidi recruits other back muscles to do its work, therefore causing back pain. So if you can feel, we're strengthening that muscle in this next movement. So if you're on your hands and knees, you're going to extend one leg all the way towards the edge of your yoga mat. And let's just do leg in front if you're seated on the chair. And then you'll lift that leg up into the air. Now, those of us here seated on a chair, bend the knee towards the chest. Take that opposite arm out, way out in front of you, and then lift it up parallel to the floor if you're seated towards the sky. So you can take a hand underneath to facilitate the knee towards your chest if you're seated on the chair. And release. So did you feel your back muscles? Did you feel some tightening, some sensation happening? If not, we're going to try it again. So other leg, extend the other leg out. Again, if you're on your hands and knees, that leg is back behind you, okay? And then you can bring the arm up. If we're seated on the chair, contract that belly button, lift the leg up, bend that knee. And try to have a tall posture when you're doing this oppositional reach. And then release it all back to the starting place, okay? Back to hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips if you're on your yoga mat. Woo, let's do that again. So this time, I'm just going to grab underneath my opposite, one knee. And then as we inhale, belly soft. Exhale, leg and arm are up. whether you're on your hands and knees, whether you're seated on that chair. Inhale, bring it back on down. Let's do the other side. Grab underneath, arm up, leg out into the air. You look like opposite reach here, spinal balance, or called bird dog, and then bring it back to the center. If you've been to physical therapy, they probably call it bird dog. Let's do one more each side, shall we? So wherever you are, let's bring an arm and a leg up and out, or up and away. It's a little different. It's hard to cue this one, so sorry, folks. And release. And let's do the other side. So we go. Leg extended, arm up into the air. Feel those back muscles. And release. Beautiful. All right. So feet on the yoga mat, knees bent. You're sitting on the chair. Let's just go ahead and shake those legs again. Get that tension out of the body. I love it. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Let me check our time here. We got time to do, let's see, let's do a warrior two and a tree posture. So if you're doing warrior two, standing on your yoga mat, you're going to bring your feet out wide and then take a set of toes, turn them towards your short end of the yoga mat. You're seated here on the chair today. I kind of scoot over to one side and bring that leg out. So I want y'all, whether you're standing on the yoga mat or on the chair, think about being very vigorous with your movements here. So I want you to vigorously push your legs into the floor, whether you're standing, whether you're seated. Now, if you're standing, see if you can see those toes peeking out from that bent knee, so get all that nice and aligned. Very good. And we're going to bring our arms out into that letter T. Now, remember those golfers' hands? You probably want to forget. We're going to go into that with the thumbs towards me. So thumbs up and then thumbs pointing away. Squeeze those shoulders and draw circles as you push vigorously into the floor. So don't look over the bent knee, just try to keep your balance here. You can do one, you can do none, you can just do arms, but be very vigorous, squeeze those shoulders, or you can do those circles. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. And release, shake it out, relax the legs a little bit. Very nice. We're going to switch over to the other side. So pivot the foot, walk those feet in, seated, bring that leg back to the center, bring the other leg out to the side. Squeak, squeak. Press vigorously into the floor. Go back to that letter T arms with the thumbs and the fingers, right? Okay, so first it was forward. Then we're going to bring the thumbs up and thumbs back behind us. Squeeze those shoulders, press vigorously into the floor. Draw the circles back behind you. Oof. Again, this is to help us have better postural alignment, which help us lessen our back pain. This is called the Egoscue method. It's postural alignment. I incorporate a lot of that into our yoga, into our gentle yoga for low back care. They're very similar practices. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Relax everything. Wiggle those shoulders a little bit. Get it going on. All right, bring that leg back in. So for tree pose, if you're seated on the chair, you're going to take your yoga block away out in front of you and put a foot onto a ball of the foot. You're at your edge of your chair and bring that knee out to the side. If you're standing, you step a foot out, lift the heel, turn the foot out to the side. Make sure the other foot is pointing towards 12 o'clock, whether you're seated, whether you're standing. Now, place the foot either right next to the ankle, the calf, the inner thigh. Hang onto a chair, to a wall, whatever you need to do, and then whatever arms you can do today. So again, we're trying to have that knee be out to the side. Sometimes it travels to the front. That's okay. Just be like really aware of what's going on here. And notice if there's that dance of the foot. This is a bone building posture also. Are you squeezing the core? You know, you can. Are you squeezing the behind? Just notice what you're squeezing or not squeezing. Squeeze the shoulders for sure. And release. Woo! Do a little movement here just to kind of get out of that being nice and still in the body. Switch it over to the other side. So we're going to step the other foot out. Turn the foot, lift the heel. If you're on the chair, come up on the ball of the foot. And then that balanced foot, point it towards 12 o'clock. Very nice. Here we go. Squeeze the shoulders. Do what you can. Hang onto the wall. Hang onto the chair. Do your balance thing. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. I always hold my breath on tree postures. Like, okay, how long are we going to stay in here? Until I breathe. Of course, right? You can be very vigorous even seated in the chair, by the way. Yep, yep. One more breath. And release. Woo! Were you really pushing into the floor with that leg? Man, I bet you were. Very good. All right, so we're going to do our check your time. We're going to do 2 rounds of our movement meditation. So whether you're standing, whether you're seated, it's hard to do sitting on your behind on the floor, but make sure your toes are pointed towards 12 o'clock. We're going to do our arms out to the side, Tadasana, mountain posture. Wiggle those shoulders a little bit. All right, so let's inhale, gather our arms in front of our body. Exhale, raise them up to shoulder height. Nice slow breath. Inhale, open outwards. Exhale, bring them in. Inhale, float them towards your chest. One breath, one movement. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale, lower them down. Exhale, expand outwards. Very nice. Let's do that again. Inhale, gather in. Exhale, rise. Inhale, open outwards. Exhale, bring them together. Inhale, float towards your chest. Exhale, float them forward. Inhale, lower them. Exhale, expand outwards. Now this time, inhale, circle, sweep, arms up. Whether you're standing, whether you're seated, press your feet firmly into the floor. Exhale, bend your elbows, lean a little forward, bend your knees, and you're hinged forward a little bit. Inhale, circle, sweep, arms up. Reach, 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 reach. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, press vigorously into the floor. Try not to allow your knees drop towards one another. Here we go. Breathe in, circle, sweep, arms up. Do what you can with what you got. Press vigorously into the floor, bend those elbows, bend the knees, feel the heart rate kick up a little bit. Lovely. One more time. Here we go. Breathe in, circle, sweep, arms up. This time, exhale, hands to heart center. All right. From here, I invite you to come back down onto your yoga mat, scoot back into your chair. You can take your yoga blanket and kind of roll it up into like a little tubular shape and place it underneath the bend of the knees. Or if you're in a little bit of a cold room, maybe take that blanket and cover up. So this is the part where I come up to the classroom and do the guided rest and relaxation. And I just want to come down to the floor though and just do a little demo of some of the different kind of things you can do with your chair if you're using the chair today. Again, if you want to extend one leg, then the other, do the notice posture. And just kind of notice how your body feels at this point in time at our class. So you should feel some release of deeply held back issues. It may take a couple of times if you're a new person to this practice. And then, again, notice what you notice. And then you can either do knees bent with the knees together, feet apart, or keep your legs extended, cover up with that blanket. Well, a lot of folks, a couple of us like to kind of take our behind next to a chair and then kind of cartwheel boop, boop, our legs onto the chair or the couch. And I walk my behind a little bit away to help with that traction, lengthening feeling. And I kind of lay on my back. Oh, that feels really nice. So this is a super cold room. So what I would do if I was doing this part, I'd cover up from my toes to my chest and maybe take my scarf and cover up my eyes because I got the light on in the room. So, you know, you do you. Get comfortable. And then I'm going to come up here and we'll do a short guided rest and relaxation practice. Again, I use my chair to kind of walk around to help me with my back challenges. Okay, so from here, I invite you to get comfortable, whatever that means for you today. So you may need to wiggle those shoulders, wiggle those legs. Maybe you need to drop the knees in together and have the feet apart. That's really wonderful for the back. Again, get as comfortable as you can in this moment. And just notice the breath. Just notice that you're breathing. Don't change it in any way. What does it feel like to breathe in here? And what does it feel like to exhale? And let's return to that extended exhale breath just for a moment here. So when we breathe in, the belly and chest get big. When we exhale, we contract the belly button towards the spine. So let's do that. Count of 4, inhale breath, breathe in. Pausing, slowly exhale, belly button tight. Again, breathing in. Slowly exhaling. One more time. Breathe in, belly, chest big. Slowly, slowly exhale. Beautiful. Just breathe now. Notice if there's still tension in the body. Maybe kind of wiggle those places in the body. Shake it out. Very nice. From here, I'm going to take you on a little journey of imagery. Just, think about this in your brain here. So imagine we're on a grassy surface and we're near a stream of water floating down. And we can hear the water. We can hear the water trickling down. And as we're lying on the grass, we're taking our eyes skyward and we see the trees that are on either side of that stream. We can hear the rustling of the leaves coming together with the wind coming across our bodies. It's not too cold, not too hot. And we can hear the birds flitting from branch to branch, maybe a little bit of bird song, maybe some squirrels up there too. And then as we take our gaze towards the stream, we notice it's crystal clear. We can see the bottom of the stream. We can see the little round rocks. We can see the little bugs on the surface of the water and the little fish swimming down the stream. And then once again, as we take our eyes skyward, maybe we notice a couple of leaves falling from the branches, and they're softly floating down towards the stream. And if you think about it, if you've got some stuff that's kind of worrying you, bothering you today, let's put all that on a leaf and just notice it going downstream here. Again, just let all those worries, let all those thoughts, those repetitive thoughts, whatever's going on, float away as you relax, release into the surface that's supporting you today. And again, I invite you to breathe in and I invite you to breathe out. And now, let's come back into the now, back into the present moment. So I invite you to wiggle those toes, wiggle those fingers, maybe a few movements of the ankles, the wrists. If you're laying flat on the surface that's supporting you, bend one knee, then the other. You've got the legs on the chair, take them off. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your side body. Take a moment here. And with that hand that's in front of you, push into that hand, come up onto that forearm, and then come all the way up to a seated place. Get comfortable here. And sometimes we can feel a little dizzy when we come up from horizontal to vertical. So just place your hands on your chest, either hands together, hands stacked, and drop that chin towards your chest. Little upper back, neck stretch going on here. Just breathe, just for a moment. Very nice. And then bring the head to look forward. Let's just do a little bit for our cartoid. So we're going to take a hand out to the side. It's called spread the fingers, spread the feathers, and really spread out those fingers and kind of push the hand back behind you a little bit. Take that opposite ear, drop it towards your shoulder, and then lift your chin up so you kind of feel that oppositional kind of sensation going on here. And release back to the center. Let's do the other side. So spread the feathers. This is a little Tai Chi movement we do. Push the hand back behind you. Now drop that opposite ear towards your shoulder and then lift your chin up. Create more blood flow to the brain. And then back to the center. Let's do one more movement. Little range of motion in the neck. So hands together. You can hook the thumbs if you like. And let's inhale, push arms one direction and turn the head the other direction. Take it easy. Just let it flow naturally where it needs to go. And then bring it back to the center, everything back to the center. Inhale, push it the other direction. Exhale, bring it back to the center. One more time, each side. Inhale, push it away. Exhale, back to the center. Other side, inhale, push it away. Exhale, back to the center. Beautiful. Now hands back to the chest. Again, you choose where you want your hands today. And I'll say our ending sayings, but let's first think of what we're grateful for today, or maybe an idea of gratitude. Let's think of whatever that is and kind of envelop it and put it into our heart space today. Again, either something you are grateful for or an idea of gratitude. And then I'll say our ending sayings as we just be here for a moment in our gratitude. And I'm going to bring my chin towards my chest during that time. And then you can lift your chin, look forward, eyes open or closed. So the light in me honors and respects the light in you. So let's take the peace, the strength, the understanding, that little attitude of gratitude, and let's pass it on. Namaste, which means the bright light in me honors and respects the bright light in you. This concludes our practice of gentle yoga for low back care. The new year